Is Britain being run by a woke, activist, deep state civil service? Today, it's emerged that senior civil servants and their union are threatening to take government ministers to court if they are made to implement the Rwanda plan. The same civil service that got Dominic Raab sacked for bullying despite him never shouting or swearing at anyone, even when one idiot nearly accidentally handed Gibraltar back to the Spanish. The same civil service that published a tweet slagging off Boris Johnson and Dominic Cummings. The same civil service that employs a bloke as a diversity chief who was out campaigning for George Galloway in Rochdale.
Stand for humanity, stand for Palestine, stand for George Galloway.
The same civil service that listed a change of government as its top wish for 2024. The same civil service that granted a Palestinian living in Israel asylum in Britain because it viewed Israel as an apartheid state, which is completely against government policy. They also keep offering asylum to people from Rwanda, hammering home the point that the wokies don't think it's safe. And then, shock horror, it's emerged that the government is going to offer failed asylum seekers £3,000 to voluntarily go to Rwanda. This is clearly because the government has realised this is the only way they'll ever be allowed to send someone there. It's a farce. Earlier, I spoke to former Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick. Look, I started by asking him about the Cash for Rwanda lunacy.
Well, look, this is a tacit admission by the government that the Rwanda bill that they've proposed, against the advice of myself and over 60 Conservative MPs who tried to put forward a better, stronger bill, won't work. It is an admission that they cannot remove the illegal migrants who are coming here at scale and at pace, as they promised to do, and instead are going to have to resort to paying people to voluntarily leave to Rwanda. The Rwanda policy is all about creating a strong and sustainable deterrent based on detaining people upon arrival and then forcibly removing them to Rwanda. I'm afraid what we're hearing today is something very different, much weaker, and is going to undermine the very principle that lies behind the policy.
I asked him if this could actually lead to more channel crossings.
Well, I think it's very naive to assume that someone who has come here to the UK, who we then tell that we're very unlikely to be able to remove them back home to their home country for various reasons, and offer to pay them to go to Rwanda, would be likely to accept that. The people who have designed this latest policy, I'm afraid, don't understand what we're up against and what we need to do as a country to secure our borders and to deliver this policy. And it's a great shame because the Rwanda policy is very important. It's a critical part of our plan to secure our borders. It's one that, if we can succeed, will be copied by other countries elsewhere in Europe and indeed around the world. This is a backward step, and I hope the government will think twice.
I put it to him that the civil service was threatening to take ministers to court if they try to actually enact the Rwanda plan.
Well, look, I believe in parliamentary sovereignty, and Parliament dictates the law of the land. Ministers then implement it and make decisions, and then the civil service have to get on and deliver them. And I'm confident that the civil servants in the Home Office will agree and will get on and make sure that these flights go ahead. I've seen the letter from the Civil Service Union and I disagree with it entirely. I hope this doesn't become an issue. What we've all got to do now as a country is deliver for the public. That's what really matters. And the public's view is very clear. They want us to stop the boats. They want us to do whatever it takes.
Well, the current incarnation of the Conservative Party is unbelievably wet and weak, with the exception, obviously, of Robert Jenrick and a few others. But there is obviously a layer of civil servants behind them who appear to be left-leaning activists, doing everything they can to block anything they disagree with.